Andrew in Seattle writes in. It says, "Hi, Tom. Do women involved in a serious relationship, married or otherwise, like to keep another male waiting in the wings? Most women are insecure. So, do they keep in close contact with some other guy, a quote-unquote good friend, who they are attracted to, just in case their current relationship fails? I know of 2 women who fall into this category because I happen to be the guy they were stringing along, calling me for occasional lunch dates, calling me when their husband was out with the guys, etc. Flirting levels were high from these ladies. After I clued into the game, I felt used and quit answering their calls. I was already involved in a serious relationship. Anyway, he says it might be an interesting topic." That's Andrew in Seattle who wrote in. Andrew, I have very strong opinions about this subject. I'm glad you wrote in about this because I have a rule in relationships. Haven't always had it, but I have it now. It's very simple. No male friends. Meaning, no private lunches with men, no going out to a bar and having a drink with a man, no trips with men without me being around. Anyone who doesn't want to live up to those rules can't be in a relationship with me. It's that simple. I'm not controlling. I'm not dictatorial. Don't even try that on me. I'm controlling my own life. You can do anything you want. But I control my own life, and I don't want to be in a relationship where a woman is stringing 2 or 3 other guys along in case things don't work out with me. I know how the game is played. You're with me, but you have an ex-boyfriend who's now, let's say, with a girlfriend. Or he's dating people or whatever. And you're just calling the ex to keep in touch. He's a friend. He's a friend. You called him for his birthday. You bought him lunch for his birthday. You called to say Merry Christmas. You were at work and you were bored and you decided to dial him up at work where he was bored too. You got on America Online and you started chatting with him all day from work while I wasn't around. So you come into work at 9 in the morning, and by 9:05 you've logged on, and by 4:55 p.m. the instant message is bulging. You've been chatting with each other all day. Because he's your friend. And he tells you all about the problems he's having with his girlfriend, which is nothing more than a come online to get you to F him. And you pretend you don't know what he's doing, and you respond with all of my shortcomings, all of the things you don't like about me, to keep him on a string, to keep him thinking he has a chance with you. To make yourself appear to be in demand, and yet to look perfect while the person you're with is dish dirt on. Ladies, I know how this game is played. Having 12 email addresses, having 16 screen names, taking calls on your cell phone, sending cute pages back and forth to each other. I know this game. And I make it real simple. You're a free agent. You can do whatever you like. But if you choose to do stuff like this, you're not with me. Be with him. Be with any number of other people, but not me. I won't tolerate. Now, if I'm deeply into a relationship with you, I will follow the same rules. Doesn't make sense for me to be stringing along other people, to be meeting them for lunch. But guys hate eating lunch or dinner. In fact, can I tell you something? For the most part, I hate going out with chicks to meals, period. Especially if it's dating. I hate it. It's just a premise for getting together and forestalling what will inevitably happen later on. Later tonight, later next week, later this year. You know, all we're doing is killing time until you finally give it up. Don't kid yourselves, ladies. We do not enjoy having meals with you. We enjoy the anticipation of what we might get down the line. That's the only reason we do it. Do we like eating? We do. But we don't like spending $75 or $100 on a meal. And we don't like spending money on you unless you're going to give us what we want. That's just reality. I have always said that women frequently have what I call the guy warming up in the bullpen. Have you ever been with a woman who had an ex-boyfriend or an ex-husband or whatever? Usually it's an ex-boyfriend. And the ex-boyfriend doesn't really know what happened to her. So the ex-boyfriend will call once in a while, or he'll send an instant message, or he'll send an email. And somehow the ex-boyfriend never knows that she's involved with you. She lives with you, she dates you, whatever. The ex doesn't really know. It's kind of ambiguous. And so you ask her, like, does he know about me? And she says, well, I don't want to hurt his feelings. He'll be devastated if I tell him I'm with you. That is the biggest load of crap. And if anybody ever says that to you, forget about it. A woman who is doing that is stringing the other guy along in case things don't work out with you. That's why. Why in the world would somebody, I mean, well, he's just my friend. I have a right to have friends. Why wouldn't she tell her friend all about the good news about you, the great boyfriend she has? Why wouldn't she do that? You know why she wouldn't do that. Because she thinks things might not work out. She has doubts about whether this is a definite, permanent situation. So she has this backup plan. Could be an ex-boyfriend. Could be a guy who was close to getting into her panties before you did, but she kept his card anyway. You know the type. The type that keeps all the business cards. Ever been with a chick who has like 1,000 business cards? 998 of them are of guys she met in clubs, and 2 of them were for actual business. You know, she met guys at on street corners, bus stops, clubs, bars, whatever. You know the kind of business cards. You ever been with a girlfriend who's like, I met this guy today, and he's a photographer, and he wants to do some test shoots. I think he works for Playboy. Or how about the one, I met a guy today, he works for Guess Jeans, and they're giving away free jeans to hot chicks, and he gave me his card and told me to call him at home. Come on. Hello. I wasn't born yesterday. Though I suspect many of you guys were born yesterday. I was not, okay? Here is my rule. None of that stuff goes on, okay? In other words, you're not calling the guy giving away the free clothing. You're not calling the guy who's a photographer. You're not calling the guy who is a casting director. You're not calling the guy who's a talent agent. You're not calling the guy who's a headhunter who hasn't seen your resume, but he can just tell by looking at you that you'd make a great corporate executive. You know what? You're not calling any of those guys. That's all the stuff I tell my boys to use on other chicks. If you're with me, you're not calling those guys. You're not calling them. You're not having drinks with them. You're not having breakfast, lunch, or dinner with them, or doing anything else with them. Ex-boyfriends want to talk to them, great. You and I will have lunch with them. Ex-husbands, even more so. It's that simple. Can I make it any more clear? I do believe that this whole list of guys, the phony photographers and the headhunters and the guys giving away free designer clothes and the guys who say, you look like you've got potential as an actress, and all the guys who you used to go out with, all the guys who flirted with you, all the guys whose business cards you carry around in your wallet next to your pocket PC, you know who I'm talking about here. These are all the guys that you save all that stuff just in case you need. One day, things aren't looking good in the dating relationship you have. One day you have a fight. One day things aren't good. And you decide to let your fingers do the walking and dial up one of these guys. He's a friend. He's just a friend. Now, Andrew has been the guy in this situation, and he realizes how he's being used. Because here's the other side of the story that when I talk about this subject, we don't usually talk about it. Many of these guys who are being strung along on the side never actually get into the panties. Many of these guys just have lunch, they do a little flirty flirt, little kissy kissy, and then that's where it stops. Doesn't go any further. Or ever been having those lunches with a chick or having that drink after work with a chick, and you think eventually she's going to dump the boyfriend, and suddenly she completely stops calling you, changes her phone number, changes her email address, changes her home address. You have no idea where she is. Do you know how many chicks I've known from the past? I don't know their name, address, phone number, screen name. I mean, it's like the witness protection program. They have completely changed everything. And it's because things worked out better with the boyfriend or the husband or whatever, and suddenly they completely disappear. So it's not as if these guys warming up in the bullpen always get what they want. In fact, many of them don't. Many of them never get anything. All they do is give these attention whores their time. The Starbucks coffee, the lunch, the flowers to the office on Valentine's Day that sit next to the boyfriend's flowers or the husband's flowers at the office. You know what I'm talking about. So Andrew wants to know whether women do this on purpose. Do they have guys waiting in the wings? Ladies, do you do that? Do you have a guy waiting in the wings? Do you have more than one? Are these guys people you would never have sex with or never do anything with unless you had a bad day in your relationship? Maybe you had a bad day and you did a little gropey grope somewhere along the way, and then finally you're like, I'm not going to go any further with this. No matter which side of the story you're on, I'd like to hear your side.
Tom Leykis, 1-800-5800-TOM.
You have got to be like the lowest rung on the evolutionary ladder I've heard in a long time.
Really?
Yeah.
The Tom Leykis Show.
The Tom Leykis Show, 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Lisa, you're on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hi, but I was wondering, I totally agree with what you're saying, and I think you're being more than fair. I've been the girlfriend that has strung guys along on the side, I admit it. And what you're saying is fair. You're saying if I want to see some ex-boyfriend of mine for lunch, you're saying you'd come along, right?
Right. We're all going together.
Huh?
We're all going together. By the way, you know how many ex-boyfriends I've had lunch with as a result of making that offer? I think 2.
Yeah.
In all my years. You'd be amazed how fast a woman says, well, it's not that important to see him.
But I think what you're saying is more than fair. You're saying if I want to see him, you're coming along, and that's cool, right?
Right, but you know as well as I do, the ex-boyfriend doesn't want me around.
Right, but if I'm committed to you, and he knows that...
If you're committed to me, you're not making appointments to have lunch with ex-boyfriends.
Right, but if he respects me, then he's willing to have lunch with you, right?
If he's seeing you for the right reasons.
Right.
That is, he's a friend, which, by the way, 99% of these guys don't just want to be your friend.
Right. So if he doesn't want to see you, then I don't want to see him because he's not really being my friend.
Bing, bang, boom, yes.
Right. What's your position on, gay male friends, though? Because I have, 3 or 4 very good gay male friends.
It depends on the purpose of seeing them. And can I tell you something? 99% of the time that women are going out and seeing gay male friends, they're not having sex with them. But they are talking about the intimate details of their personal relationships. Because every gay man I know is a big yenta.
Oh, totally, yeah.
Well, I don't want you know what? I don't want the intimate details of my relationship discussed with a guy, a chick, or anybody.
Yeah, but I mean...
And if you need to do that, then you need to be with another guy. I would just say no to that. No. No.
But I'm not saying that I can't have female friends either.
You can have any friends you like if you're not going to discuss the intimate details of our relationship. And if you're one of the types that insists on discussing the intimate details of our relationship, you'd have to be with somebody else other than me.
Okay.
I don't... Well, you know what? If you can't discuss the intimate details of our relationship with me, you have to go to a bunch of gay guys or chicks. We don't have a relationship.
Okay. Well, let's say then it's for social reasons that don't involve...
How many women have gay male friends? For what, just shopping? Come on. You know what? I have a lot of gay male friends. A lot.
Yeah.
I live in a gay neighborhood. I mean, I have gay male friends. And I'm telling you, that is what chicks get together with gay guys for. Well, to gossip.
Well, yeah, but it's not always about my relationship, you know,
But I will bet you that right now I don't know you. I've talked to you for 3 minutes.
Okay.
And I'd be willing to bet you that every gay male friend you have at some time or another was told something personal about your relationship with your boyfriend or husband.
Probably.
Right. Well, you know what? It's none of their goddamn business. Does you have a boyfriend or a husband?
I have a boyfriend.
Does your boyfriend know what you tell your friends about your relationship?
Closest male friend is actually my boyfriend's best friend.
Whether it be men or women, you tell other people about the intimate details of your relationship at one time or another, right?
Yeah.
Does your boyfriend know what details you tell and to whom?
He probably tells this one guy...
We're not talking about him right now. We're talking about you.
Okay.
You know the question. Answer it.
Yeah, he probably does.
He knows everything you've told everybody.
No, not everybody, but this one guy, yeah.
No. Everybody. When you tell something intimate about your relationship to somebody else, why doesn't he know about it?
I don't know. I just never, I didn't think of bringing it up again.
Well, isn't he supposed to be the love of your life, your best friend, your closest confidant?
Yeah, but sometimes...
You don't love him that much.
About it, and it's resolved.
You don't love him that much.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Yeah, well, you know what? It's nobody else's business.
Well, sometimes it's like I don't want to hurt his feelings.
Well, you know what? Then you don't have the right kind of relationship if you can't talk about everything.
The Tom Leykis Show. This is the Tom Leykis Show.
From Los Angeles. At 1-800-5800-TOM. Do women keep guys warming up in the bullpen? They keep men waiting in the wings? Never know. The current relationship might or might not work out. Right? Well, let's say hello here to Marie on the Tom Leykis Show.
Hey, Tom. How you doing?
All right, Marie.
Hello?
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Well, Tom, I enjoy your show. Sometimes I don't agree with you, but a lot of times I do.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to quickly say I do have to agree with you. When you have a relationship with someone, you don't want to tell your friends, gay or just a girl, you just don't want to tell them your intimate details because they might be interested in what you have. So I do agree with that. I am married. I do have someone in the wings, and a lot of times I will see that person because sometimes my husband holds out on me. We get into a bad argument, and he holds out on intimacy. So I'm.
You mean sex? Your husband won't have sex with you?
Yes, when he gets angry.
Mm-hmm.
So, I have needs too. So I go and I see my friend.
So you're not just seeing him, you're effing him.
Yes.
You're having sex with your male friend.
Right.
Does your husband know this guy?
Yes.
Like him?
No.
Uh-huh. Why are you married if you feel the need to have this guy on the side?
Well, that's a good question.
Yeah. Maybe you
that's
ought
a good question.
Maybe you ought to get out.
Maybe you're right.
Why don't you?
I probably will.
Mm-hmm. How long has this been going on? All the way through?
It's been about a year.
A year. You're on that slippery slope. You're heading downhill fast.
Wow.
It's going to end. So it's just a matter of when you want to end it.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Mm-hmm. Woof. Thank you, Marie.
Well, Tom, can you give me a blow me up Jesus?
Okay, I'll give you this.
Thank you, Jesus!
1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Lindsay on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hi, Tom. How you doing?
All right, Lindsay.
I just want to say that the girl that was on before me is an idiot, and that's the reason why most men don't want to get married, because women are dirty, nasty hoes. That is so ridiculous. She should have never got married, and she shouldn't stay married.
Well, if I've learned anything from doing this show over the years, there's very few women you can trust as a man. Very few.
That's sad, because that's sad for the good ones like me that are out there who are doing all the right things and still, taking a shaft because of what other women have done previously, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But my question is, for you, is kind of like if the shoe was on the other foot, and say, like, you have a fiancé, like my situation. I love him very much, and he loves me. We live together. We're getting married in September. And sometimes he'll leave, and he'll for a couple hours, and then he'll tell me, I went to see so-and-such, whatever it is. And it's a dumb lie, because I've followed him before, trying to see if there was something going on, and he goes and sits in a parking lot by himself.
He's doing what? Your phone is cutting out here, Lindsay.
Oh, I'm sorry.
All right, Dean's going to get a better connection so we can figure out what Lindsay's trying to tell us here. I do want to hear. 1-800-5800-TOM. Jack on the Tom Leykis Show.
Hey, Tom.
Hey, Jack.
How you doing?
Pretty good.
Good. Hey, I had a question for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were talking about, the cell phone and, calling the guy on your cell phone. And
right.
All that stuff, he's just a guy from work, and we just go out at lunchtime, smoke a little weed and have a little hit off the bottle and all that, I was just wondering, I called her on that, and all of a sudden the cell phone records don't show any more calls, but I know they're still hooking up at lunch, I just...
well, why do you tolerate?
Well, like I said, I put my foot down and told her, at work kind of stuff, okay, you can go out and have lunch with the guy for a half hour and but the calling on the cell phone, off hours, all that stuff.
Yeah, but so what happened? So then he starts calling her and it doesn't show up on the bill.
Well, yeah, I guess it shows as an incoming call. But
right, but it doesn't show the number.
Right.
So why do you could hire a detective and resolve this tomorrow.
Yeah, I guess so, huh?
I don't know why you put up with it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't put up with it.
I don't want to put up with it, but I just don't have any proof that they're actually still...
Well, you could pay a private detective probably $100 and resolve this tomorrow.
Yeah. But, I look like the paranoid...
Well, if a detective follows your wife and finds her sitting on a park bench having a sandwich...
Yeah, I guess it's no big now.
She'll never know the difference.
Yeah.
So if I were you, and you really this really bothers you, I'd find out what the truth is, and then you essentially tell her, I know what you're doing, and if you continue to do this, I'm out.
Yeah.
Because I'm telling you, I wouldn't tolerate it. And when I say I wouldn't tolerate it, for all you people want to say, you're controlling. No, I'm not controlling. Because anybody can do whatever they want. You can't be in a relationship with me and do that.
Right.
You want to go off and do that? I'm not going to imprison you. I'm not going to chain you to the bed. You go off and do whatever you want on your own.
Right. Yeah, there's been late night, 2, 3 in the morning, come home. I've been out with my girlfriend, but I know he's there. But, I get that, too. Oh, you're trying to control me. I got to have friends. I need friends. And,
right. Well, no, I'm not trying to control you. I'll tell you what. I'm going to completely give up control. Here are your divorce papers.
Right. Right.
That's it. And by the way, I don't want anyone to misinterpret what I'm saying. I'm not saying to get physical. I'm not saying to buy new locks and lock people in the house or anything like that.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not telling anybody to control anybody. I'm telling you to control your own life. You don't have to put up with that stuff. You don't.
Yeah, you're right, Tom. I appreciate it. I think I'll do that. I'll get a private dick on her and see what the hell's going on.
I'd do it if I were you, pal.
Tom Leykis. Tom Leykis. 1-800-800-TOM. The Tom Leykis Show.
Tom Leykis Show. 1-800-5800-TOM. Is our telephone number. All right, Lindsay's back on the phone with a better connection. Let's finish up with Lindsay. All right.
Hi, sorry about that.
Okay.
So where were we?
Your fiancé.
Okay.
Yeah, for people who did not hear your call, and a lot of it cut out. Let's just start it again.
Okay. So, I've been seeing this guy for a while,
Yeah.
and we decided that we're going to get married in September. And we're both very attractive people. And sometimes it's like when we get into an argument, he'll say, okay, and he'll just leave the house. Because we live together. And when he comes back, he's like, oh, so-and-such girl said to say hi to you or something, like he had been with a girl. And then, so that I would get mad and, like, kind of argue with him and get pissed off. And so it started really bothering me. So I started following him, like, sometimes when he would leave to see where he was going. And he wasn't going anywhere. He was just going down the road and sitting in a parking lot and, like, listening to music for, like, an hour or so and then coming home. And so my question is, why would you do this? Why would you try I don't know if he's trying to, like, make me feel like I should be privileged to be with him or, like, make me feel like I'm, disposable. It doesn't make any sense to me because, you know, we love each other, and I don't see why we treat each other this way and why he wants me to think that there's a girl on the side.
Well, why don't you just tell him? You have to have guts. You know what? You have to take a risk. You just tell him. You're not going to... He can do that, but he can't do it with you.
Well, I've told him things like, oh, you should be happy that you're with me.
No, that's not the same. You have to tell him that the relationship will end if he insists on doing it.
Okay,
and then mean it.
Why do you guys do that, though?
Well, again, it isn't just guys who do it. In fact, most of the people we've been talking about here are women.
Yeah, but...
You let him do it. That's why he does it.
Yeah, but that's the difference, though, too. As I go to work full-time and I go to school full-time, so I'm a busy person. But I make sure that I take care of him and that his needs are always satisfied.
Well, clearly they're not. You're wrong. They're not.
I don't know.
His needs are not satisfied. That's why he needs to do this.
But he's not doing anything, and that's why I don't understand why.
You don't know what he's doing. You know what he tells you.
Well, I know that when I've followed him, he hasn't gone anywhere.
See, you've had to follow him. Look how bad it is. You've had to follow him.
I was curious. I don't want to be, the stereotypical stupid girl.
Tell him this is...
Well, if you're cheating on me, then...
I won't have a relationship. You see, the thing is, you don't have the guts to say what has to be said.
Which is?
I'm not going to be in a relationship like this. If you have to do this, you'll have to do it with somebody else.
But see, the only problem with that is that it's only recently started coming to be a problem. I don't care.
I don't care when it became a problem. I don't care. If somebody did this to me, I would say that.
Even if you guys have, like, years together?
I don't care. By the way, you're 22. You're too young to have years together with anybody.
We do have years together.
But you're too young to be committed to one person. You are.
Well...
And by the way, so's he, and that's why he's doing it. Okay?
He's not 22.
How old is he?
He's older.
How old?
He's 26.
Well, you know what? I don't care if he's 26 or 56. Clearly, you don't satisfy all his needs.
I don't know. There's no complaints about anything. He doesn't say, well, if you don't...
Oh, no, he's voting with his feet. He doesn't say anything. Because what's he going to say? You already work full-time and go to school full-time. Would that sound reasonable if he said, you know what, I have needs, stay home?
Yeah, it would. And
that would sound... Would you do it?
I would honor that he needed that.
So you would stay home more?
Yes, I would.
Well, then you need to tell him that. Because you are not satisfying all his needs.
That's kind of, like, how do you bring that up? That's kind of a touchy subject.
Hey, dear, You know what? Relationships are full of touchy subjects. That's what it's all about. If you can't talk about the touchy stuff, you don't have a relationship. You got nothing.
Well, that's not the problem. It's just that, am I supposed to be like, hey, I think you have a problem with it, and supposed to pretend like...
No, you have a problem. You have a problem with it. You don't want to live like that. You had to follow the guy, for Christ's sake. You want to live like that?
Very bad.
Do you want to live like... Forget about how it sounds bad. You felt that way, and that means you don't want to live with this.
Yeah, but also, you know, I'm not going to be naive enough to think that...
Why are you arguing with me about this?
What?
Why are you
I'm not arguing with you?
You don't like this. You don't feel comfortable. You feel uneasy. It makes you feel bad. Why do you tolerate things like that?
I'm a good catch, and I don't feel like he
Stop selling me on you. Clearly, if he thought you were that good a catch, he'd do whatever you want.
I don't know. But that's not saying anything, because all his friends are like, you know, all he does is, you know, talk about how good you are.
You don't have the balls to tell him the truth. You don't.
I just don't want...
And you will lose your relationship in time because...
Do you think so?
Yes, I do.
Huh, I don't know. It's kind of, I don't know. Maybe I don't have balls, but it's just,
I've lost relationships because of it. By the way, I'm not above this. I'm not saying I'm better than you. I know this because I've done it.
How many relationships have you had?
I'm 46. I've had more than one. I'm telling you, that's what happens when you just say, ooh, I don't want it's a touchy subject, and I don't want to talk. Come on. It's your life we're talking about here. It's your life. Forget about him being touchy. What about you?
Well, for everything, every other aspect, I'm perfectly happy.
This is a big aspect. This is big. This isn't like he parts his hair on the wrong side, okay? This is big.
True. Because when he asked me to marry him, I went through my phone. I deleted every guy's phone number. I sent out an email, you know, I'm getting married, blah, blah, blah. I did everything that you would think somebody was supposed to do.
Right.
And it's just like, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, he's like, oh, well, I'm going to go see my friend Jessica. And there's no Jessica.
No?
And I just don't understand why a guy would do that.
Dear, I don't care. You know what my attitude would be? I don't care why he does it. Don't care.
So you would just be like, all right, tell her I said hi?
No, on the contrary. I'd say, I'm not going to live in a relationship like this. So if you need to do this,
be with her then.
You need to be with somebody else. That's it. And then mean it.
Yeah.
You're only 22. You're plenty young to find other men.
Yeah, but I don't know.
And you're another one of these women who doesn't want to talk about tough subjects because it's too much work to go out and find another guy.
No,
I don't want to. You got to go looking and dating. And
I've dated plenty of people, but this is the only time that I've been happy.
You're not happy. Stop telling me you're happy.
So because one thing bothers you...
It's big. It's a big thing. What if it was only one thing, that he liked to F other chicks, but other than that, he was a gentleman and he was wonderful. He just likes to F other women.
No, but that's not right either.
But you're willing to tolerate this stuff. Sean, what did you want to say to Lindsay here?
You know, if you can't talk to your fiancé about everything and tell him everything that's on your mind, then you have no business getting married to somebody. You know, I almost lost my wife because we were too chicken to say everything that was on our mind. You're getting married to this guy. Why can't you say everything that's on your mind?
Thanks. The next time I call your show, we'll discuss that. Anyway, but...
You can't. I'm telling you. If you can't discuss everything, you have no relationship.
It's not that
the other stuff, the fact that he sends you flowers and writes you poetry, isn't enough. You don't have a relationship with this guy.
So it's not... that's the only thing that I don't think I'm, communicating well enough with you.
That is the most important thing anybody has in a relationship. You better learn that.
1-800-5800-TOM.
Really?
1-800-5800-866.
I know when my dad took the strap to me, I damn well deserved it.
Nobody deserves that.
You don't think you learned a lesson along the way? You turned out all right, didn't you?
Yeah, I'm 46 and I learned not to have kids. That's what I learned.
Yeah.
I'm serious.
The Tom Leykis Show.